All right, Jacob, should get your mic hot as well if you could. We're going to get rocking and rolling. Just getting the behind the scenes, I's dotted, T's crossed. Give an idea, a sneak peek of what goes into the behind the scenes work before the show starts here. I mean, quite a bit. Headlines being sent to you. I originate a lot of the content for the show. I think a lot of the viewers and listeners know that. That content is then discussed in a, pre-production meeting of some kind, I would say, Judah. We then figure out headlines for the topics we want to discuss, which we put on screen. We do that to give you guys, an idea of what the show is going to be about. And then we have recently been trying to develop new topics that you can expect. One of them is, the best and worst things you see on Charlottesville Twitter, a trivia question. Today we're continuing the history element. Remember, we started with Timberlake's Drugstore. Today's the Monticello Hotel. Before we start the program, give them a little sneak peek of what you do behind the scenes before the show starts. Judah Wickhauer.
Well, it's like running around with your head cut off. And let's see, sometimes it's grabbing photos and then converting them from WebP to JPEG. Sometimes it's finding a map and putting a circle on it. And it's always exciting.
Give me some headlines. What are we talking about today?
Well, we've got an even more expensive rental than I think we've seen in the past.
This is the new record. We've been talking about the most expensive one-bedroom, one-bathroom in the area the last 2 days, and I continue to get folks passing along more expensive ones than the one we highlighted on Pantops. The one we highlighted on Pantops, I believe, was what, 1,800, was it? From the other day. This one is now, this is the new record. We have a new record for most expensive. We'll talk about that today on the program. We'll talk about the massive potential at the University Shopping Center on today's program. We will talk about the downtown mall. I hate to say this, and I'm a positive guy. I own real estate downtown. But there's empty storefronts. The empty storefront index downtown is starting to pop up and get a little significant. Do me a favor, hit the like button right now, retweet the show. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet the show. We're trying to grow our presence on Twitter. Retweet and like the show and join us with conversation on Twitter. LinkedIn, jump in. YouTube with comments. Facebook, please like and share. Judah, I think we can rock and roll when you're ready, my friend.
All right. Quiet on the set.
Good Tuesday afternoon, guys. Jerry Miller here on the I Love Seville show. Thank you kindly for joining us. Glorious day above the mud. The show today presented by Scott Wagner, the good doctor. Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine. Who's got your back? Dr. Wagner's got your back. I've seen it, dude. I've seen it with UVA athletes. I've seen it with people in this community. I've seen it with neighbors. I've seen it with business colleagues. Scott Wagner, Dr. Wagner, that team, they represent, they buckle up, and they do you right. They really, really do well by folks in this community. Thank you to Dr. Wagner. I want you to look at the screen now if you have an opportunity to enjoy the visual aspect of the show. I think the visual aspect of the show is the best. I know a lot of people stream straight through podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Fountain app, wherever you get it, Audible. But I think the visual aspect is the best. And you'll see the headlines on screen. We've been talking 2 or 3 days. I mean, you'd say 2 or 3 days, right, Judah? On the program about the most expensive one-bedroom, one-bath in the Charlottesville metro area. What, since Thursday of last week?
Yeah, probably.
I'd say Thursday, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a topic that resonates because people understand that this influences the market and it's going to raise price points that are lower and make them go up. Okay, it's a market setter. I continue to get crowdsourced content, and the best content we want. I mean, is this not a crowdsourced show? I mean, just weave you in on a two-shot, and let's get you in the mix. This is going to be a very conversational, very dialogue-heavy, very chitter-chatter version of the I Love CVille show. We want the crowdsourced content.
Yeah.
That's the program. We want the crowdsourced content. We want the information to be shared, and we're just the water cooler that just makes sure the content continues to have momentum and stays fresh.
Yeah. I mean, we can sit here and talk for days, but we'd much prefer to hear from our audience and talk about the things that they want to hear about.
And offer suggestions. So we've been talking about the 1-bedroom, 1-bath J-Dubs, the highest price point, and I continue to get folks saying, have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? I am not going to make mention of this gentleman's name because he's asked for anonymity, but he mentioned Avamore is in the 1,600, 1,700 range, and in fact said there's roughly 14 1-bedroom, 1-bath rentals in the Charlottesville metro area that are 1,700 plus. So the Pantops one we highlighted is not an anomaly, but the reason we highlighted it was because of the secluded nature of the unit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got another one that may be the record. J-Dubs and I will offer perspective with some visual elements that Judah has put together for the show, while I offer audio perspective on the program. J-Dubs, let us know when you want to get some visuals on screen, and you take the lead here. What are we putting on screen first here?
What do you want to see first? I'm still working on converting the photos.
Okay, let's put the map then. These are the Archer apartments at Brook Hill. And I'm not throwing shade at the developer. I'm not throwing shade at anyone doing this. This is the free market driving 1-bedroom, 1-bath price points northward. That's all that's happening. I am throwing shade at no one. I'm just highlighting a unit that's for rent right now. It's
Here's
1-bedroom, it's 1-bath. You got the map on screen?
Yeah.
J-Dubs has got the Google map on screen for the location. You're basically talking the Albemarle County, Greene County line here. You're basically talking Albemarle County, Greene County line. I know it's in Albemarle County. I know the property is marketed as Albemarle County. I know it is Albemarle County zip code, but you're basically on the line here. This particular unit is 1-bedroom, it's 1-bath. It's pretty sizable for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. It's 832 square feet. It's $1,900 a month. This is the most expensive 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom in the Charlottesville metro area. I want somebody in this community to send me a listing that is more expensive than a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom at $1,900 a month, 832 square feet. And that has me asking you this question. Are you ready? Think about this question. Are you ready? Which apartment brand, which apartment complex, which apartment landlord or owner will be the first to crack $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom in the Charlottesville metro area? Where will it be located? And who is renting this 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom at 2 G's plus? We're basically there. $1,900 plus for a brand new 832 square foot apartment on the Albemarle County, Greene County line.
Pictures are on screen.
Judah Wickhauer showing photos. Photos from the management company leasing the apartment. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's brand new. You got granite. You got sexy floors. You got sexy lights. You got white cabinets. It is gorgeous. Open floor plan. Fantastic. $1,900 a month. Go back to a two-shot, if you could. $2,000 a month. I would have said 2 weeks ago that we're a year and change away. I see this, and I see Pantops, and I see 17 one-bedroom, one-baths available for rent at over $1,700 a month on Zillow currently. And I say $2,000 a month might be next month here in the Charlottesville metro area.
Or even sooner. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or maybe it happens. It already exists. Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Could be soon. And how many rental properties are gonna follow in its footsteps?
There it is. Where's the first gonna be that we see online? I gotta think it's West Main. I have to think the apartments on West Main, the high dollar ones by Blue Moon Diner, the Lark, the Flats, they have to be seeing the price action on Pantops in the price action on Albemarle County, Greene County line. And if that price action is equivalent to theirs, I mean, this price action is higher than Dairy Market, than Dairy Central's price action. Yeah. Dairy Central, their top price point that I'm seeing for a one-bedroom, one-bath is not higher than this brand new unit at the Greene County, Albemarle County line. And I will say this, there are available units for rent at Dairy Central. So I'm curious to see what happens at the Archer, the one in the Greene County, Albemarle County line. I want to see the vacancy and how quickly these units rent, because there's some that are open at Dairy Central. And we're going to continue the chitter chatter today about vacancies from a downtown mall standpoint. I walk downtown, I own downtown, my businesses are located downtown. I routinely do the walk from the P.O. box at the post office that is right next to the pavilion in City Hall, and routinely walk all the way to the Omni Hotel. I walk past my mentor Bill Nitchman's building. I walk next to Trip Stewart's building. I walk right past Joe Geek's building. I walk past all of Wilson Ritchie's holdings downtown. I go past Ludwig Kutner and Alan Kajine's positions on the mall. I head all the way past the Code building owned by Joffrey Woodruff, and I head to the Omni Hotel. I look at the fountain and I turn around and I head back to my office on Market Street next to the grocery store. And when I do that walk literally daily, I see storefront after storefront opening and opening and opening. And the empty storefront index right now downtown is higher than I've seen it in a really long time.
Have you seen the 10th and Dairy website?
Price points?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
I mean,
oh my gosh, what was that face you just gave us?
we wanted to know how soon we were going to get to 2,000.
There. Here it comes. Drum roll. Do we have a drum roll? I think we only have the rim shot here. This is the show.
There's got to be a drum roll in that.
No, I think it's only a rib shot on the soundboard. The soundboard is extremely sophisticated. Do I do it? Are you ready?
Yeah. That's a drum roll.
I'm sweating. Are you sweating this?
I mean, I'm looking at it.
This is live programming right here, set up beautifully.
I'm looking at it.
I bet you if I know this market, you're looking at $2,140 a month for a one-bedroom, one-bath.
You peaked, didn't you?
Is it $2,140 a month for a one-bedroom, one-bath?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's also a 2,054.
Is it $2,140?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And
2,140 on the dot?
Yeah.
2,000, we have a winner. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner. Dairy Central. 2Gs plus.
735 square feet.
The other one on the Greene County, Albemarle County line is 800 and, I got it right here. 832 square feet.
Yeah.
Dude, all day, every day, $1,859, $1,859 a month for the Albemarle County, Greene County line, the Brook Hill Apartments. Or would you go $2,140 a month for a smaller unit, 1 bedroom, 1 bath at Dairy Central. I go all day, every day, and twice on Sunday, the 2140 at Dairy Central. You're talking a delta of what, $300? Less than $300
Yeah.
for Dairy Central versus Greene County, Albemarle County line? Think about that. The delta, 300? What would you do? And don't say neither because it's out of the budget. You go Dairy Central. Is that value proposition worth $300 a month? Absolutely it is. There's your $2,000 a month winner. Right there. What do you make? Do you have anything you want to add about that? Jason Howard, I'll get to your comments here. Jamie Turner is exactly right. Jamie Turner literally said the $2,000 a month at the same time Judah Wickower brings it up on the program. That's your top price point on the market. Find a higher one for me. JT, is there a higher one? I would think the only place you'll find a higher one is maybe one of the rooftop apartments downtown, but I don't think those are set up 1 bedroom, 1 bath scenarios. Or the Bluebird, Blue Moon Diner building is where you may see a 1 bedroom, 1 bath at that equivalent price point. We're at $2,000 a month.
Yeah, already. I don't see it getting better from here.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And that leads us to the next topic that I want to highlight on the show. We're talking who's the next one to crack $2,000 a month? Well, there's one. My next topic is how do you fill the empty storefronts on the downtown mall? What's the cause of these empty storefronts? How do you help fill them? And then it's a great segue into the University Shopping Center, the shopping center where Papa John's is at, where Lou Stevens, the now sole owner of the tennis shop on Ivy Road, he has his place. You know the location I'm talking about? It's the quirky building between Ivy Square Shopping Center, where Foods of All Nations is, and that car wash underpass. There's a strip of office condominiums. Hunter Craig owns a couple in there.
Is that where Tokyo Rose was?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's where Tokyo Rose used to be.
I haven't driven by there in years, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's exactly where it used to be. Okay? That shopping strip, and the only reason it's in its current format and quirky is because it's office condominiums and they're owned by a handful of people, and it's been difficult to consolidate ownership. Hunter, I know undoubtedly, is Hunter Craig, not Hunter Smith. Hunter Craig, the developer, owner of a lot of the UVA corner, owner of a lot of the downtown mall, including the old Bank of America building, owner of the Clock building, where his son's business, Waterbird Spirits, is now operating on Water Street. Hunter Craig, a ties to Virginia National Bank, ties to Biscuit Run Park, influential guy. He has a tremendous position on Ivy Road. Hunter Craig, he developed the new shopping center across from the Boar's Head Resort, where many of the Ivy Square Shopping Center tenants moved down Ivy Road to Hunter's new development across the resort. He has a handful of positions in the University Shopping Center, and I know he's trying to consolidate total ownership. But why it's quirky in its current state is because there's a handful of owners, and it's difficult to make one decision or do anything, frankly.
No doubt.
That shopping quarter has tremendous, tremendous influence. But downtown, you know well, you're walking with Liza all the time. I see you walking with Liza. I see city councilors stopping and chatting with you, folks that make and own pizzas and restaurants stopping and chatting with you, financiers and judges and lawyers. The creme de the creme stop and chat with you.
I did say hi to Jim Hingley the other day.
Oh, where'd you see?
I don't stop and chat with a whole lot of people.
Where did you see Mr. Hingley? Where did you see Jim? And did you mail the sticker to Jim?
Yeah.
He's one of 4 winners for the I Love Seville tribute.
I usually see him come walking up the road, the side road.
Yeah, that's where I see him too.
He's usually coming from the courthouse. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I see him downtown all the time. It's always pleasant to see Jim downtown. We like when he watches and listens to the show and participates. Mm-hmm. What do you make of the empty storefronts?
I mean,
you see them, right?
With house and rental prices, are you surprised? I mean, people that are starting
That's what it
Small
is.
businesses in storefronts like this aren't. I mean, we talked plenty about it on the show. They're not. They don't have a large margin on whatever it is they're selling.
Well-
And so, is it any surprise that I mean, I'm not saying that that's the sole reason.
No. That's a fantastic comment.
I would be surprised
Viewers and listeners, what are your thoughts?
if that wasn't a big part of it. I mean, what are you going to do if you've got a razor thin margin on a business that you want to run? How is that gonna help you pay for your rent or your mortgage?
Totally, 100% that. That's definitely a huge aspect of what it is. Very succinctly, well said. What do we do about it? Here's questions, legitimate questions.
Did you get this from? Let's see. Did you get this from Johnny Ornelas?
No, what's that?
He sent me a photo. Apartmentguide.com. Look up 1143 Rose Hill Drive, number 305.
No.
You're gonna.
But this is a one-off. This is an anomaly, right? This is something crazy.
What
I'm going to put it in Zillow. 11. What is it? 1103.
1143 Rose Hill Drive.
1143 Rose Hill Drive. I'm putting it into Zillow search.
Number 305, and this is courtesy of Johnny Ornelas.
1143 Rose Hill Drive. I only see 310, Johnny, 304, 303, 301, 309. Let me see if I can go.
Let me see if I can copy the.
Can you Facebook message that to me now so I can see it? And then if you could put it on screen as well, that would be huge. And we'll talk a storefront, empty storefronts as well here. I saw that, Scott Aaronworth, about Craig Hartman opening Exchange Cafe. That dude's crushing it. Craig Hartman has the Midas touch. The owner of Barbecue Exchange has a handful of restaurants now. There's no doubt in my mind. I'll say this with confidence and conviction, that Craig Hartman is the top employer in Gordonsville. Craig Hartman. I'll say it right there. 1143 Rose Hill Drive, 305, $3,000 a month. What in the hell? How in the hell is that possible? It's got to be ginormous, or that's an error. Because Rose Hill is not swank. Rose Hill's not swankier than Dairy Central. And the delta between Dairy Central at 2140 a month and 3 Gs a month is substantial. That's got to be an error. I'd be curious to see what the other ones are running for. In fact, I can tell you. Johnny's sending me the link too. Here's 304. I'm looking at 304 on Zillow. 304 is off the market. I mean, it's got a rooftop deck, so that's pretty dope. And parking. All right, let's get to downtown. All right, we'll go downtown. Johnny, we'll check this out. Johnny Ornelas owns Guadalajara and El Mariachi. He's crowdsourcing content for us. We appreciate you, J.O. Love you, homie.
Definitely.
Seriously, love you, dude. Would love to get El Mariachi involved with the I Love CVille show somehow. Not that you guys probably need the business. You guys are crushing it, but if you wanted to, we could crush it even more. This is what I'd like for you to do, and I know you have very little time. Judah's a busy guy around here. Would you say you're very busy?
Always.
Yeah. If you have an opportunity, maybe today, later today, and you could do this just with a horizontal photo on your cell phone. Use your cell phone, go horizontal and take in a picture. I would love if we started the empty storefront index downtown again.
Ugh.
And what I'd like to do is have the baseline, the first round of photos is going to be the most time consuming because we don't have a baseline to start with. But as we do the empty storefront index, we can update it twice a week. You'll already have the baseline moving forward, so it would only be a picture of one. Hopefully none. Dear God, we hope none. But if one comes on the market, you will only have to take a photo of one and you can update it. So why don't we see how many photos, how many empty storefronts we have. I want to go from the Omni to the Pavilion.
When do you want me to do this?
Can you do it later today? I'm just basically saying go with Liza, take your wonderful dog, walk her from the pavilion to the Omni, take photos of empty storefronts horizontally, and have them ready to go on the show tomorrow. And when
All of them?
beautiful ladies come walking to you while you're walking Liza, stop and talk with them.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm on this website that Johnny Ornelas was on when he found this, and I've got 3 of them. I mean, there's the one that he sent us.
At $3,000 a
There's
month on Rose Hill?
There's 200 Garrett Street for $2,200. 865 square
No,
feet.
okay, gosh, this is ridiculous. No, how about...
And there's a Barracks West Apartments.
A one-bedroom, one-bath?
It says 1,400 to 2,757.
Man, my three-bedroom, two-bath at the Villas at Southern Ridge needs so under rent. This is ridiculous, and this is what
so
other
it
people like me are
begins.
guarantee you are thinking right now.
Yeah. How much money can we make?
I mean, if a one-bedroom, one-bath, straight up, we have multiple examples, are renting for 3Gs plus. What does and I know it's not, you can't directly extrapolate a one-bedroom, one-bath, 3Gs plus, so a 3-bedroom, 2-bath has got to go 9. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that. But I would wonder what's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath at that spot renting for? I mean, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, what are we at?
At Rose Hill?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, it's getting to the point where you have to have a partner to rent a one-bedroom, one-bathroom in the Charlottesville area. I shouldn't even laugh, that's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a 3G nut, one-bedroom, one-bath, you take a one-bedroom, one-bath, you better friends with benefits. You get on a dating app to afford rent. That's the new tagline for Charlottesville. There it is right there. Charlottesville, there's Charlottesville affordability in a one-sentence snapshot. You want to afford Charlottesville rent? Get on a dating app and find a partner. All right, can we go to the next topic, or do you want to add something else to this one? And I appreciate your contributions so far. They've been fantastic. Your contributions have been fantastic. Anything else?
Besides the insanity ad.
We could go downtown, University Shopping Center. We have Alex Erpy coming up as well. Anything else on this one? I would think a nice perk of the job would be walking from the pavilion to the Omni with your wonderful dog on a beautiful day in the spring while on the clock.
I don't have a problem with that.
That's legit.
It's my boss getting angry when other stuff doesn't get done.
Angry is not fair.
Oh, sure.
Empty storefronts. What are we going to do about this? You got Friends of Seaville trying to raise awareness for downtown positivity. Friends of Seaville is essentially a business owner co-op. They put money in a pot, and that money gets allocated to signage, activities, engagement, and building a brand. Is that working? Is that working? Has someone walked from the pavilion to the Omni and back? I do it every day. What's up, Alex Erpy? Is that working? I mean, because this is the emptiest I've seen it. You know, the last time I saw it this empty? The beginning of COVID, when it was ghost town, we were scared for our lives, and we were going to the grocery store with Ziploc bags over our faces and garbage bags covering our hands and wetsuits on, wearing scuba diving gear and having a clothespin over our nose while going to Wegmans to get the asparagus and the fettuccine for some pasta that night? How many times did you do that? You do that all the time.
What? I didn't do any of that.
I know you didn't do that.
I brought my food home and I put it in the refrigerator, and
I know you didn't do that.
I wore masks where places asked me to wear masks,
Okay.
and
Okay, you were sensible. I was sensible as well. You know I was sensible. We were doing this show without the mask
I
on.
believe there may have been some disinfecting of everything that came out of the trunk in your household.
Not by me.
I didn't say by you.
Okay, that wasn't
I
by
said your
me.
household.
Yes, thank you for using your words carefully for, most importantly, my sake in this particular circumstance. But I certainly did not do that. And she, I believe, is listening to the program right now. We were the ones that were hosting the talk show at the peak of COVID without mask on. And people were writing in the comment section screaming at us, what are you doing? What are you? I remember one time getting chastised. This is a legitimate story. Lynn Goldman, the jewelry store, and she's a genius. She's a jewelry artist and genius. If anyone takes anything about this Lynn Goldman story that I'm about to say on this talk show, please, dear God, take this. She is a genius, an artist, and a jewelry expert. Buy jewelry from Lynn. In the beginning of COVID, we're hosting the talk show without the mask on. A very different table, 5 feet apart, maybe 6 feet apart. It was still 6 feet apart, the table. This table here is like 12 feet apart. The old table was legitimately still 6 feet apart. I felt safe. There was a table 6 feet apart in between us. You were 6 feet away from us in this isosceles triangle of content right here, right? Equilateral. Sorry, it's an equilateral triangle of content. Long story short, she wrote me a very...
Heated?
Let's use the word terse. A very terse email about that. UVA removed its masking policy. Did you see that? Hospital? Now both hospitals have removed their masking policy. What was a more significant masking policy removal? UVA's, Martha Jefferson's, or Bodo's Bagels? I'm going to say it was Bodo's Bagels. This was more significant because they had every single employee in those locations masked up like it was Fort Knox.
I mean, there are places that I go where I still see people with, still see businesses whose employees are all masked. So it's still going on out there.
Happy birthday to the Mayor Lloyd Snook, who I see walking around the studio here in the Mackler building in downtown Charlottesville. Happy birthday, Lloyd. May all your birthdays have a profile picture with you looking so youthful as you do in the profile picture you hold right now. We love you, Mayor Lloyd Snook. How do we make these storefronts downtown full again?
I don't know if that's possible.
Well, that's a terrible answer.
I'm sorry to
How
say
do I don't know if that's possible?
I'm sorry to say it, but if Charlottesville is shifting to to the kind of place that
Linnell, oh my God, go ahead. Keep going, Judah. I'm
can't
sorry.
afford, then I mean, small business owners are not going to be sticking around here for long.
Can the small business owner not capitalize on the extremely rich and affluent customer base that lives here? Why is the small business owner not taking advantage of the wealth in the community?
Do you know how fickle wealthy people are?
Well, there's different levels of wealth, my friend.
Oh, yeah?
There's different levels of wealth. And I understand what you're saying. My old man was a huge of the saying, he's a CPA, one of the tightest guys you'll ever meet. I've never met a wealthy man who wasn't tight with his money. That was a saying that was like beaten into us by my father. I mean that proverbially and metaphorically, by our father.
The thing is, most businesses, I should say, most businesses need that full spectrum of shoppers. They need the little guys and the big guys. They need a wide spectrum to get enough. Unless you're the kind of business that can cater to people that have enough money and don't mind plunking down whatever you're asking.
Judah Wickower, thoughts? Ladies and gentlemen, respond, react to Judah Wickower. Alex, let's get you on set. Alex Erpy, CEO of Emergent Financial Services. We'll talk downtown. I'm getting a lot of content on Twitter as you set up a 3-shot for Alex. I'll relay what's coming in via Twitter. Warrior AG, I will mention this live on air. So Linnell, how do you say your last name? Her Twitter handle is LEDELEANU, Linnell. We should send Linnell a sticker. Let's send Linnell a direct message, get a mailing address for her, and mail her an I Love Seville sticker just for contributing to this program. Can you do that, J-Dubs? She sent us, we've been sending out stickers a lot, making it very engagement and dynamic. Her Twitter handle is at LEDENLEANU. She sends us Garrett Square listing, $2,400 a month. Good God. $2,400 a month. Linnell, we're going to send you, and it's fully furnished, comes into play for some of these. She says it's fully furnished. Oh, that's a nice value right there, Linnell. Linnell, we're going to send you a sticker for this. Dylan's Rule, hello. Ginny Who, hello. Warrior AG, hello. Warrior AG says for the downtown mall to bounce back, it has to attach itself to the biggest moneymaker on the mall, which is the pavilion, arcades, duckpin bowling, etc. You jump in. Alex Erpe, CEO, Emergent Financial Services. The empty storefront index on the downtown mall is escalating. Anywhere you want to go.
I noticed it myself.
Yeah.
I think that last comment actually is what I was going to say. Because let's face it, I think what people no longer go out to the experience of pure shopping. Like, I mean, you and I grew up, like, you would go to the mall merely to shop, right? And I think downtown, I'm not sure that's a sufficient draw. I think events, experiences, maybe be the better word for that. Experiences get people in the door, they then want to eat, right? And then they will go shopping. And I think it needs to kind of avalanche or snowball in that order to really do the draw. That's why if you notice, it's a natural ebb and flow, don't get me wrong, but the mall is always much busier in the summer than it is in the winter, because there's a lot more going on in the mall than there is in the summer than in the winter. It's warmer, it's nicer to walk around. Is it still a beautiful pedestrian walkway? That's the thing about it. I can't tell you, family comes down, when family visits us here, they are struck by it's a beautiful pedestrian walkway. It's a very nice, kind of old-fashioned colonial architecture feel to it. But you just have to, I think the issue is for ongoing year-round foot traffic, which is what a mall like that needs. There's got to be some draw in today's day and age, I think, beyond shopping, because too many people can just shop online.
All right, Judah, you're going to jump in on this. I'm going to ask a very frank conversation. Very frank question for conversation. Homelessness and panhandling downtown has become aggressive and prolific in nature. How much is homelessness and panhandling impacting the downtown mall? That's a question that a lot of folks want to sidestep and delicately touch with white gloves on.
It's hard to get around it. I probably each one of us could say the way in which it's become more. There would be a point, and I say this as someone who, my temptation is always to like, all right, yeah, here, let me buy you some food, that kind of thing, right? But there was a time when I would be proactive in doing it. In other words, you're passing by and like, okay, this person looks like they could use an ice cream today or something, right? To now, it's true, you were walking and you pretty much, there's a higher likelihood, it's happened to me, that you will be approached, which I think makes people a lot more uncomfortable. Like, the presence of homeless alone, I think, would not be sufficient to make it a ghost town.
Yeah.
But homeless or panhandlers that approach you now mean that unless the mall is already busy, I could easily see myself as a family saying, you know what, once it's dark on a winter night, if that mall's not packed with people, I'm not going, because I don't want to be alone when a panhandler approaches you.
And this is the Antonio Banderas of finance speaking here. I mean, this guy is, what are you, 6'1"?
Yeah, about 6'1", maybe, probably 6. I don't know if I hit
6'1" with shoes.
6'1" with shoes. There
yeah, but over 6'1" with shoes. I mean, this guy is a tall dude, and he's saying he's not going to walk alone at night at the mall. Are you legitimately saying that?
Yeah, the only time I'm ever in the mall at night is in the summer, because there's lots of other people around. And I say this, maybe it's the
Here's a 6'1" guy, 6'1", 29-year-old, 28-year-old?
30.
6'1", 30-year-old is not going to be alone on the mall at night. I just want that right there.
I totally agree with the crowd thing. I don't know that I don't know that it would bother me, but I'm sure a lot of people would feel the same way. That if they don't see people walking up and down the mall, they'd rather stay away from it, because he's right. You get it's almost like you get cornered with no one around to. It's not even to help. I think it's just a feeling of
Uncertainty.
it's a feeling of being comfortable in a crowd and knowing that there are other people there, and you're not just like
Power in numbers, 100%.
yeah.
100%. Well said, Judah Wickower. All right, so this, I figured you guys would answer that way. So this leads me to my next question. We understand that homelessness and aggressive panhandling have impacted the brand of the mall and the consumer confidence of the mall, which directly correlates with an empty storefront index increasing. We know that, right? Direct correlations right there. So what do the key stakeholders do? What does City Hall do first here? Should an initiative be put in front of City Hall, in front of council, in front of the police department, powers that be, to become a little bit more assertive with managing panhandling and homelessness on the downtown mall? I, for one, say yes. I think a lot of people are afraid to lead the charge of being assertive when managing panhandling and homelessness because they fear the political backlash and they fear the emotional response from a very liberal Charlottesville. But I think it's beyond that point downtown. Also, from a brand image standpoint, I agree with what a lot of these folks are saying, that tying the mall to the pavilion and further driving, like Alex Erpy says, the awareness play of, look at all these events that happen downtown. It's not just the pavilion. There's Second Street fairs. There's these little get-togethers at coffee shops. Heck, there's even like fantastic musicians that are just busking on the downtown mall. I remember Lily Garay, who's come on Today y Mañana. She's phenomenal. Says she's bussed on the downtown mall and still does all the time. And she's awesome.
And she's awesome. She's fantastic.
Right?
No, I mean, there's talented musicians that go there, and again, I think that contributes to, like, you kind of expect that contributes to your family feel, your enjoyment of it. And I think from a political perspective, there's also ways to be creative, but also to distinguish. Because I've heard this, there's a very big difference between a homeless person and a panhandler. You can, in fact, distinguish between those two, because not all panhandlers are actually homeless.
Yeah.
Some of them get.
So
I know people who have seen them get picked up.
Are you less likely to give to a panhandler than a homeless individual?
Yeah. No.
Right.
My personality is, if someone kind of accosts me and tries to pin me down, I become very uncomfortable, and I am not likely to give you anything. I'm just trying to get out of there, because no one likes to be cornered, especially if two or more. I've had two come up to me at the same time. Two people coming up to you to ask
During the day?
During the day.
Ay,
It's not
mi
a
madre.
comfortable feeling.
No, that's not good.
I've got to agree. I'm much more likely to see someone that I feel like they need help, and I'll do something. Like I've bought a group of people, like a pizza at Christian's.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
for-
here's this. This is sociology right now. What's happening? We don't have the police officers in the force to do the downtown mall policing to manage the aggressive panhandling.
I mean, we've got a guy that walks up and down the.
He's fantastic, but he has a pretty large beat. It's not just the mall. I talk to him all the time.
Okay.
He's really fit, rides the bicycle all the time, has a mustache, always friendly, saying hi to people,
Yeah.
glasses, white guy, super nice.
Wears the gray shirt.
Fantastic guy. Fantastic officer, right? Exactly what you want in a downtown beat officer, talking to everybody, smiling, happy to be on the beat, right? But he's got a large beat. And is it in his purview to do this?
Yeah, and I think the
That's
issue
the
I've heard
question.
is that there's obviously, you also have to be creative from a legal perspective, because it is, I believe certain amounts of it are public walkways, so.
It's a public park.
It's a public
By
park.
designation, it's a public park.
Exactly. One of the things I have heard that I think someone told me about it, and I'm not going to use their name because I don't know if they would want to be, but like, I had mentioned, I was speaking with someone and they said certain cities in North Carolina have actually taken to basically requiring you to get a business license.
Yeah,
a
for
panhandler.
panhandling, yeah.
So therefore, you can then get someone. In other words, you no longer don't have to worry about, can I prove a certain level of aggression? It's that any type of approaching panhandling without a business license, I now can get you out of the mall for a certain period of time. Because that's, I think, really what you want to do is. What you don't want there is, the issue isn't so much trying to go after the homeless. The issue is to go after people who may be trying to make a living panhandling and being very aggressive about it.
Okay, well, okay, that's a topic for conversation.
You know,
Should panhandling not be a career?
Not if you're going to be, not the way it's practiced here.
Okay, so
but the
if
issue
you-
is it's hard to distinguish. What I'm saying is, like, in other words, it's a lot harder to prove this person crossed the line in their level of aggression of panhandling, right? Versus you didn't have a panhandling license, you're out of there. You didn't get a license. I now have a reason to kind of basically say you need to leave because you didn't go through the proper channels to do this.
Okay, so you have no problem, and you know what? I actually agree with what Alex said. Do you have any problem if someone gets a business license? You actually, we sold I Love Seville t-shirts on the downtown mall. And we did it legally, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We sold I Love
Yeah, you
Seville
did a peddler's
t-shirts on the
license.
downtown
I
mall.
think
Yeah, it was a
$35.
peddler's license. That's exactly right. You have to have the initial business license, the B-Pole license. If you do under $100,000 in revenue, it's, I think,
I mean, it was
35
$35
bucks.
bucks,
I
yeah.
think it's like 35 bucks. Then you have to get a peddler's license, which was like nominal, 30 bucks.
Yeah.
If you got a peddler's license and a business license and you set up a card table in the downtown mall in a chair and you panhandled, would anyone have a problem?
I'm not sure. I think the issue is because then you're
You
kind
didn't
of
sell
held-
anything but
Yeah.
ask people for money.
Yeah, because you're kind of held to a higher standard.
You have no overhead.
Yeah.
You have no cost of goods. The only thing you have is your time. So you would have no problem, these aggressive panhandlers, if they were able to show 2 laminated sheets of paper, 1 a peddler's license and 1 a business license from Charlottesville.
'Cause then
If
you've
they
got-
came to you in front of Zocalo at Central Place
And
and
had
had
the-
one
had
in
the
each hand and
license.
said, "Here we go, give me $20," would you give them $20? At
Oh,
that point, I might.
I probably still wouldn't give him $20, but I think my suspicion is you would weed out some of the more aggressive ones.
100%.
I
Because
think
it's a
that's what you're
barrier of
kind of-
entry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're kind of trying to make a barrier
Something
of
you have to
entry.
do.
It's that particularly for the groups that I have people that have seen them get picked up by like BMWs and then driven off. Groups like that, I mean, if you can put some barriers to entry, that's kind of what you want to do, because that's not a legitimate. I need some mental help, mental health help, which I think a lot of the other homeless ones that are kind of just really not doing anything but being there probably need.
But
Judah-
would that really dissuade them? I mean, wouldn't they just go about their business the same as they always have?
But now if they do, I think the key, I think
No.
the reason for it is that if they do go about their business, but they haven't taken the time to get the business license, you now have a reason
There it is.
to get them off the mall. You now
So
have,
you
you
can go-
violated this ordinance. Whereas right now it's very difficult because how do you prove that a certain level of panhandling crossed the harassment or aggression line?
100%. And take it a step further. Take it a step further than that. If you require in downtown, this is a great show. I effing love, excuse me, Mrs. Irby. I really, really like when your son Alex comes on the show. He gets me thinking. If you require the business license and the panhandler license for asking for money downtown, not only is it the barrier of entry, but even perhaps more importantly, it takes it away from the police officer targeting someone for panhandling, which is a political landmine, and instead it's about a piece of paper that you don't have on your
Yeah,
person.
you either
for asking
have it
for
or you
money.
don't.
Right. So he's not policing at that point. Show me the paper. If you have it, you can stay. If not, then you got to go. It's not about the what do you look like, what's your race, like all the
How
other political.
uncomfortable did you make
yeah,
someone?
Right. All the other stuff.
It's you either
It's
have
black
it
and
or you
white,
don't.
and I hate it's pun not intended. It's literally about a piece of paper. That's what I like about it.
Which everyone needs to have.
It's like a license.
All the other vendors
I have one.
had to have one.
I have you do.
Yeah, everyone
Right?
needs to have one.
All
That's
right,
great stuff.
But
that is
taking-
great stuff.
But the other side of that is, do we really want overly aggressive panhandlers
But his prediction, his
No, I get it.
prediction is it's not going to get to that point
Right,
because
but-
they're not going to get to that point from the paperwork. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, you're trying to divvy yourself. I see your point, Judah. But I think the idea is less that somehow. I think the idea is less that we'd be okay with aggressive panhandlers as long as they had the piece of paper.
Right.
It's more given given how few legal options there are to remove someone
Yeah.
who is panhandling. You're giving yourself a tool by which to do that.
Right.
Because if they don't have it, you now have a reason without having to deal with it. I think the number one issue that's been described to me is the police officer comes and says, all right, you were panhandling aggressively to this person. The issue is how long can you actually keep them away?
How do you kick them out of public park?
Can you actually prosecute that in any way? Because they'll
It's a
just gonna
public
say,
park.
well, they're just going to say, I didn't cross the harassment line. You can't prove that I crossed that hard to define line between just asking for money and harassing someone. Whereas if they don't have a license, they don't have a license. I think it's more trying to give a tool to make it a little less of a thorny issue from a legal perspective in terms of removing people.
I think it's good stuff. But Judah, jump in.
I don't think it'll solve it completely by any means, but you're trying to, what extra tools can we add to make
100%.
it easier to remove a panhandler?
I love it, dude. What do you think? We'll get to comments after that on this.
I still think it skirts a line. I mean, you're eventually going to have. You're either going to have people that that make the payment and continue doing what they're doing and continue scaring people off, or you have people angry that you have people in Charlottesville angry that you're creating laws to target specific segments of the population, and they're not necessarily wrong.
How's this any different than a curfew law? How's this any different than another tool like policing a hotspot neighborhood? Or how's this any different than like any of the other, as Alex said, tools in the tool belt? I
mean,
appreciate your perspective.
Ultimately, in the court of public opinion, I don't think it matters whether they're vastly different or exactly the same. If people have a problem with it, it won't matter what arguments you make.
Bill McChesney says the whole thing on the downtown mall is associated with the Haven, which is one of the shelters that also offer food downtown. It's on Market Street. And he also talks about attorney Jeff Fogel, the activist attorney who has fought on behalf of panhandlers for an extended period of time here locally in Charlottesville. Carol Thorpe is the queen of Jack Jewett, and she leaves a comment saying, history has taught us there is no political will to fight the panhandling issue on the mall or in the street medians. Local politicians got crushed the last time they even raised the subject. Same as in the county for the ones in the streets. They won't even consider erecting, installing street signs like they have in Richmond that discourage, not forbid, giving money to folks that are panhandling.
I think that's probably a different question, Tyler. In other words, if there's no actual community will to deal with it, then the community that just has to live with the existence of panhandlers.
There it is. Dylan's rule on Twitter specifically says Alex Erpy nails it. If there's a crowd, event, or nice weather weekend, I'll go to the downtown mall. But forget it if you think I'm going in January, February, when it's almost certain to be 4 to 5 panhandlers asking me for money when I walk downtown. I mean, there you go. So here's a handful of problems. You have escalating rents. Mm-hmm. You have an economy in 2023 where buying stuff at stores is being done significantly more online, which is cannibalizing storefronts, and much of downtown is storefronts. You have aggressive panhandlers. You have homelessness. You have all the macro headwinds, inflation, cost of goods, labor, all escalating at the same time. You have potentially no political will in City Hall and on the dais to create,
community-wide. I mean,
or maybe community,
it boils down to that.
or maybe community to create a thriving downtown district. I mean, and now you have empty storefronts, and we'll get photos today, if we can, of them. What are we missing? We covered it pretty well. How do we solve the problem? I guess that's what we're missing.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, it really comes down to one or two, right? I think it's the combination of, as I think as other people have said, it's panhandling plus low crowds make for an uncomfortable situation, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not going to get rid of the panhandlers, then you need to find ways to get crowds there for a particular reason, such that then other people will come. In other words, if there's an event, no one has an issue going downtown when Tom Tom Festival is running. Why? Because they know tons of other people are going to be there.
Yeah.
So you just need to find ways then to gin up more events that you know will bring out enough of a crowd that other people who may not be going to those events also come. Like I've come downtown when I know where they had like the opera down at the pavilion one time, or when there's been certain festivals that are at the pavilion. I've come downtown even if I'm not actually going to that festival, because I know there's going to be a lot of other people there. So I think you can the only other option is to try to get enough people down for a specific purpose, such that then other people will be drawn because they know that it's a nice day and there's going to be a lot of other people there. Because short of that, you're going to keep running into what the gentleman talked about, which is if there's nothing going on, do I really want to be downtown, just me and my fiance, when it's dark and when one or two people, sometimes two at the same time, may approach me asking for money?
You may be looking at another justification, and John Blair, we'll get to your comment. Janice Boyce Trevelyan, we'll get to your comments here. You may be looking at another reason why Barracks Road, for example, which is a mile maybe from downtown, is got 2.5x the rents of the downtown mall. And people say, is Barracks Road worth it? Is it justifiable, the rents they're asking? How are they 2.5 times what downtown is? Well, you don't see these issues in Barracks Road Shopping Center.
Yeah.
And Barracks Road Shopping Center, you see foot traffic year round. You have parking at Barracks Road Shopping Center,
The parking
free,
is a big
where
one.
it's
It's
easy
right
to find.
off a major road.
You got
kinda
grocery
have to-
stores and Barracks Road Shopping Center. You got Chick-fil-A and Barracks Road Shopping Center. Now people are understanding the value proposition of Barracks Road Shopping Center. Anything you want to add to this topic before we go to the comments from the viewers and listeners?
No, I mean, I think Alex makes a good point that if we had more crowds on the downtown mall at broader times, not just lunch rush or evening dinner rush, then I think it would attract. People would attract people, and of course that would bring in more shopping, more more money for the stores, and if small businesses saw that action going on in the downtown mall, it might entice them to be willing to pay whatever the price of rent is.
On Twitter, on the one bedroom, one bath topic, Linnell, who we're mailing a sticker to because she made the show better, she said that $3,000 a month on Rose Hill Drive is fully furnished. Utilities are included. That needs to be considered in what you said, Judah. She said fully furnished and utilities are included at the $3,000 a month on Rose Hill.
Yeah.
So the viewers and listeners offering valuable perspective here.
Yeah.
You'll see if you go to my profile and click mentions, you'll see her handle there. Thank you, Linnell, for making the program better. Alex, we have ample time today, and I want to hear about Today Mañana. I want to hear what's on your brain from a finance standpoint on the show. I want to get your take on what we were talking about with the one bedroom, one bath. Now Dairy Central is over $2,000 a month for a one bedroom, one bath. We have a one bedroom, one bath behind Martha Jefferson Hospital in Pantops. No walkability whatsoever, no nightlife whatsoever. That one's like $1,800 a month.
Yeah,
I asked the question on the program, which one bedroom, one bath is going to be the first to crack $2,000 a month? And multiple viewers and listeners flooded our DMs and ad symbols with ones that already have, including some that are over $3,000 on Rose Hill, although Linnell has highlighted that includes utilities and fully furnished.
Yes, you have to calculate that.
That has value undoubtedly. Where do you want to go on this topic?
It's not surprising. It just feels like it's kind of the way the domino works, right? Housing prices go up, more difficult, along with interest rates, right? Now more difficult to buy. Some buyers will now move into rental, and as demand for rental increases and supply remains the same, price goes up. So that's not surprising. I mean, I've been seeing those prices eat up little by little over the past year and a half, even the rentals. So it was only a matter of time before somebody hit 2,000 for a one bedroom, one bath.
Kevin Yancey, the ACLU sued and beat Charlottesville on a panhandling ordinance in years past.
I'm not
Tremendous legal power these panhandlers have.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why you tend to have to be creative to find solutions.
How would you characterize panhandling? It's the entrepreneurship of
Asking for money.
asking a question, asking for money.
I mean, I remember I saw a little.
Are panhandlers the ultimate closers? Are they utilize the tactic of persistence to get money because it's kind of this annoying like woodpecker tactic? Just take the money and go away.
I think it's more like the salesman's creed.
Oh, talk to me about that.
Well, it's like you ask 10 or 20 people the same question so that you can get 2 or 3 sales. It's
In other words, you have enough volume.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You will inevitably find if you asked 100 people, "I want beer, give me money," you may eventually find 1 or 2 who'll be, "Oh yeah, buddy."
That's
yeah.
not the best. This is what I found. I've been, and here's what I've also found. I've been self-employed for 15 years in May. It's crazy, 15 years. And I have found the following. Anyone who is self-employed is in the sales game, regardless of if they're selling a widget or not. Mm-hmm. Alex is CEO of Emergent Financial Services. He is selling financial services. Now, he goes about it in a non-salesy way as just being the source of the source and a very likable guy that has a lot of knowledge and is well-read. Same with us. I don't have to, at this point, make cold calls or sell. Mm-hmm. The folks that want to meet with us often cold call us, reach out to us, and say, I hear you can do this well. How can you help my business? And that leads to doing a deal. So our close rate is extremely high, but our pitch rate is extremely low, if that makes sense. We're not like pitching.
Yeah.
I'm not going to meetings and giving out business cards.
You're not setting up 100 meetings to get 5. You've reached the point where the close rate is high, but the total number that may walk in the door is lower.
Right.
It's all referral at this point.
And it's all legit. Like the meetings materialize something.
Yeah.
So here's, I guess, the point I'm going with here is this community that is so tied to small businesses and them selling something. Do we need to get a mindset of folks that are selling something downtown that's completely different than what we have? We have Decades Arcade moving in. They're selling an experience.
Yeah.
Right? We have music venues. They're selling an experience. What's the next business that could come in here and sell something that has lasting power for downtown? It's not going to be a branding business on the downtown mall. It's not going to be a financial services business on the downtown mall.
To be honest, it's not going to be a restaurant or a storefront.
They're already there.
Because they're already there.
Yeah, we already have too many. It's not going to be another music venue. It evidently couldn't be an ice park because that didn't make it. So I would imagine we can take skating venue out.
Probably. It's always hard to
Laser tag is too big.
Yeah, it's too big.
Go-karts is too big. Exercise is not going to happen downtown. Not going to be an exercise studio. I think the Decades, Albert Graves on Twitter is talking about Decades Arcade moving. I think that's genius. I think that's hugely big for downtown.
Yeah.
Kids going to the arcade and then go get an ice cream or pizza?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, we can make that into anything. Any age would like that. What is the Decades that can go downtown that besides arcade?
Besides arcade.
That's what it's going to have to become. It's like what Patty has done with her business at Animal Connection. It's about self-serve dog washes and grooming, and it's about knowledge and education.
Yeah. There's things you
can't rip it off on Amazon.
You can't get that from Amazon.
That's what I'm saying. That's what whoever does it downtown has to do that. It can't be barbershops. It's not going to be photography studios. Not going to be chiropractic. Not going to be therapists downtown.
What do you mean whoever does it?
Whoever fills these empty storefronts, whoever fills them is going to be incremental or entrepreneurs that are already here or ones that are thinking about launching something. And we're trying to come up with some ideas that could be good fillers for those spots because there's a boatload of them. And generally, in a healthy downtown economy, the empty storefront index legitimately is at 0. Like the empty storefront index is below 1%. I bet when Judah walks tomorrow and takes photos of the downtown mall from the pavilion to the Omni Hotel, that we will have over 15 empty storefronts, including some end cap units, like that bank that is on the corner of Heather Heyer Way, 4th Street, the cut-through road across the downtown mall where Heather Heyer was hit. There's a bank there that's right there on the corner. That's been vacant for a long time, and that's an end cap. Joe Geek's got a couple vacancies downtown. So whoever does it is going to have to do something that's going to prioritize experiences, or it's not going to make it. It's not going to make it, and that's a point Alex has been making for a couple minutes on the show. All right.
There needs to be a draw. There needs to be a draw. Just shopping alone, I think, is no longer the draw that it once was.
I know, it's so crazy, and that happened literally that happened in our lifetime. Because I remember I grew up in Williamsburg. I remember going to Hampton to Fashion Square Mall. No, not Fashion Square Mall, the Coliseum Mall, the Hampton Coliseum Mall. And literally, when I was a kid, walking up and down that mall for shopping, for back to school or for Christmas. And the place was packed. Go to the courtyard with your friends to meet girls.
Go to the mall and we didn't need anything. You'd be like, all right, today, when we used to live in Carmel, like today we're going to go to the San Jose Mall.
Yeah, just to do something.
There may be one thing we want to go, okay, then we'll go and we'll see the other stores and stuff. Just where else would you go to get it?
Remember when we were kids and we had that at Christmas time at malls, there were often those little shopping areas for children that were staffed by elves that were older ladies, and you could go into this little, contained tiny shopping area, buy a bunch of stuff that was in the grand scheme of things kind of garbagey, but you were able to do this by yourself with your parents hanging outside, and you as a kid were able to buy something for your kids without them knowing.
I remember lots of trains.
Right.
The little train rides as a little kid that they would take you around malls, outdoor malls especially. I think in Richmond they still have that. They have that in the one which is very well designed, and I think a lot of things that draw people there. The one in Shore Pump. Shore Pump Square.
That one's Shore Pump Town Center. That one's awesome.
There, Shore Pump Town Center.
Yeah, that's experiential. What would a kid be doing right now if it's a Sunday after church or family dinner or whatever, and they, instead of the family going, let's walk around the mall, what are they saying now? Let's put on let's grab our Wii controls and play some tennis.
Yeah, probably.
Let's get on the Peloton and take a hike in Switzerland.
Probably not even for a kid. Probably not even the Peloton.
Let's get on the metaverse and what the heck, man? Yeah, Albert Graves on Twitter. I'd put a duck pin bowling bar or an axe throwing bar on the downtown mall. I'd also look at maybe adding a satellite brewery on the downtown mall. Those are great ideas.
Bowling sounds actually very appealing. Because the only bowling I have to think of is
Bolero.
Bolero down 29, and that's already almost near Walmart.
And Bolero ain't cheap. My family and I went for our son's birthday. It's not cheap. I saw it as well. That's what you're going to say on Reddit. Look at that. I speak Judah. All he had to do was point his finger and look at me, and I knew what he was talking about. That's 12 years of working together right now. There was the thread on Reddit. The difference is there's 3 things that we can garner from that thread on Reddit. First, you can call ahead and reserve a lane at Bolero. And if you do it for 2 hours, it's going to run you $200.
Yeah.
Your second option is to walk in. Now you risk not having lane availability, but the walk-in price point is way lower. And then third, you can get a Groupon, and it's less than $40. That's what I learned from that Reddit thread.
Oh. Yeah.
I didn't know about the Groupon.
It sounded like the walk-in was pretty
easy. That it was very full.
Sounded like it was pretty easy. Sounded like it was pretty comparable to the Groupon, and it sounded like from the feedback on the thread that the lanes are rarely ever all filled. Yeah,
Monday through Thursday, I've done this because my friends and I, for off Tuesday Bible studies, would do Bolero nights. If you go on a Tuesday night or something, you can usually find a lane. We would be 10, and you could still find a lane. And then it was $2 $2.80 a game.
Oh, it's nothing.
I mean, the shoes are where they get you.
Yeah.
Because those were like $10 to rent the shoe or something. But the games themselves were cheap. But then you risked on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday that there's no room if you.
What are you rolling? What score?
Oh, I'm not bad.
No?
My great achievement was hitting
be
100.
good. Really?
Yeah. And it took me a while. It took me like, I was so devastated, like my fourth time around, like 99. I was like, oh, so close.
How about you, J-Dubs?
It's been so long since I've been bowling, but the last time that I remember going,
Bowling's fun.
I was visiting Maine. This was a long time ago, and I had a friend and his then girlfriend who were in like a bowling league, and somehow I out-bowled them. I don't know how it happened. I certainly wasn't in a league or even a regular bowler, but
This comment from Marlene Jones. Carol, Jerry, Alex, and Judah on the panhandlers in the median in Albemarle County. Marlene Jones says, I think the solution would be to create ordinances that would fine those donating to the panhandlers. That's a safety issue. The folks that are giving money to the panhandlers are causing traffic issues. So she says the solution is to fine the folks giving the money.
but that's not going to solve the problem on the downtown mall. And
Oh, maybe the ones in Albemarle County. The Albemarle County ones I don't find as impactful on quality of life. They're in the median, they leave you alone. Downtown is in your space, dude. Like Alex has said,
it's a different
it's
scenario.
literally, I experienced it today. It's in like literally, you know, that little space around your body. What do you call it? Your personal space.
Personal space.
They are in your personal space.
Oh, yeah.
It is not cool in the personal
why
space.
it's nice to have a dog.
Well, yeah. Especially, but Liza wouldn't hurt them. But they don't know that.
No,
They don't know that.
Liza's a sweetheart.
Perception.
She would never hurt anybody. But yeah, nobody's going to come running up to me when I'm walking Liza and like scream in my face.
I'm going to save the history of the Monticello Hotel for tomorrow. Same with the topic of the potential for University Shopping Center for tomorrow. I'd love to give ample opportunity to Alex to highlight what he's doing on Thursday for Today y Mañana, a fabulous show that airs at 10:15 a.m.
Yep, yeah, so we got Tammy Tatum, local artist, coming on Thursday.
Very nice.
May even talk some finance. I think Xavier's back with me on Thursday, so that usually means maybe a little finance topic. Just highlighting, it says you got to keep highlighting. We got to keep highlighting the local businesses that are doing it right and working through tough times. So we'll be highlighting that on Thursday and Today Mañana. Maybe, like I said, maybe a little finance topic as well. Because there's so many moving parts out there to be able to keep an eye on.
The show is excellent. It's presented by Emergent Financial Services. Alex is the CEO of this family-owned business, Emergent Financial Services. Guys, think this company to help your retirement financial planning needs, Emergent Financial Services. John Blair watching on LinkedIn, he says, a zip line over the downtown mall. That's an idea for you guys to consider. A zip line over the downtown mall. I love it.
I would love that.
I would love a zip line as well. Or if we turned the Dewberry Hotel into one of those
zip line point? Yeah.
drop zone.
Oh, a drop zone.
So literally like it was a drop zone. You take the Dewberry and you get just dropped off the roof. I don't know if it's tall enough. Is 12 feet tall enough? 10 feet?
What?
He also says this, I would offer this. There are plenty of handymen. This is for a comment for you on the wealthy people tight with spending money. He says there are plenty of handymen around the area who take advantage of wealthy clientele. I know a handyman in Charlottesville, Albemarle, who nets $100,000 by basically doing any and all odd jobs for about 25 different families a year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if that's what the market bears.
Absolutely. No, but remember they often speak to this. Often there's two types of business models. You can always pursue this, right? There's the large number of clients, each of whom gives you a little bit, and there's a smaller niche clientele, each of whom pays you a lot per widget per service.
Yeah, there you go. The guy is A+. Judah's A+. Judah, you killed it today. Job well done. Seriously, Alex always kills it.
Always a pleasure.
Thursday, 10:15 a.m. is just a fantastic show. My name is Jerry, and today's show is presented by the good Dr. Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine. See you tomorrow at 12:30. Take care. And we are off, and you saw the text from Monica.